This is The Metro on WDET. I'm Tia Graham. Now, you may be familiar with a little band, Grammy Award-winning Red Hot Chilli Peppers, to be exact, famous for songs like Dani California or even Can't Stop off the 2002 album, By the Way. Hall of Fame Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith recently announced the Chad Smith Foundation, and Chad grew up in Michigan and returned to the place where he got his start to help students do the same. The Curtis and Joan Smith Scholarship will honor his parents while also providing need-based support for incoming music students to the University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance. This past weekend, during U of M's Band Rama, Chad joined the Michigan Marching Band in Hill Auditorium, surprising the audience with Red Hot Chili Peppers' classic, Can't Stop. I got a chance to chat with Chad about the foundation, the scholarship, and growing up in Michigan. We begin by hearing a snippet of Chad performing with the band.
Michigan fans, please welcome to the stage our special guest, Chad Smith.
Well, what better time than now is with a crazy world that we live in to give somebody the opportunity to be able to pursue their passion and their love for music, just like I did when I was a kid. So I'm fortunate to be in a position to be able to do that. And Michigan is a perfect fit for us, our foundation, the Chad Smith Foundation, because I grew up here in Michigan and I played a lot of clubs right out of high school in Michigan. And I was also outside of Detroit in Losser High School. I graduated in 1980, and I was fortunate to have all these music programs in my public high school, which a lot of them are gone now. So this is a way to kind of shine a light on that and just to see somebody be able to do what they love to do and be able to pursue it and be exposed to it. And a great university like Michigan that has a world-class music program is just, it's very exciting for us to be able to partner with them.
And Chad, what does it feel like to honor your parents in this way? Because it's named after them, and that's really, really huge.
Yeah, my mom and dad. Well, they were just, they were just so instrumental in me being able to pursue my love of music from a young age. I started drumming at 7. So I think most parents aren't like, hey, little Johnny, you want to play the drums? Here's a drum set. Start playing it around in the house. So the drums chose me more than I chose them. They were always very supportive. So it's a great opportunity for me to be able to honor their legacy and how helpful and supportive they were. And hopefully that kids that go to school and be able to pursue music, that their parents as well will get involved and want to support their kids and their passion for music.
Just thinking about the scholarship and thinking about it being in their name as well. If you could just talk about the support that they gave you, especially early on when you were just a little drummer boy.
Yeah. Well, my dad, when I was 7, I was just, the usual pots and pans thing around the house. And they're like, okay, well, see, he says he wants to be a drummer. So he went and took the Baskin-Robbins empty ice cream tubs out of the garbage, not even like from the store. Like I think they're in the garbage bin behind the store, and grabbed like 4 of those, and they're made out of like cardboard, and I of course blew through those pretty quick, but and then they were like, okay, well maybe we need to get them something that's a little bit more durable. They were always really supportive, and my parents love music. My mother played the piano a little bit, but my father did not play, but he loved what was in my house in the 60s, and that for me as a young boy was pretty much a steady diet of Frank Sinatra, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. Those are my dad's top 3 on it, and they were like, he would play other stuff, but those were like heavy rotation. And of course, when you're like 6 or 7, you're like, ugh, Frank Sinatra, old people, Elvis, oh God, And I would, of course, me and my brother were playing like, Led Zeppelin and just to, because you want to have your own music. Not but looking back, it was really fortunate because Frank Sinatra, Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley were like really great music. So it seeped in there. My dad had good taste, and so they were always very supportive. But at the same time, as most parents are always worried, like, okay, what's plan B if this music thing doesn't work out? What are because right out of high school, I was playing in bars 6 nights a week, 3 sets a night, making $165. And it doesn't really work out. Gas, drumsticks, whatever. But I was like, I was fit. I've made it. I'm a professional musician. I was happy as a clam, but they're like, okay, well, but what's your plan B? And you know what? And I never had a plan B. I always I knew what I wanted to do. I was passionate about it. I loved it. And there was no like, oh, I'm gonna, take a job as whatever somewhere else. It just was never it was never in my reality. So um I think that's just what happens when you find something that you love, you just want to do it. And here we are.
And here we are.
And here we are. So to be able to do that, and go to college, and have the college experience, and a school like Michigan, which is one of the top schools in the country, and their music program as well. Like it's such a great opportunity for somebody that wouldn't be able to normally go to Michigan, and we're going to provide them with that opportunity. Like we're really excited. It's awesome.
So growing up in Michigan, what was the music community like while you were in high school? And especially when you were early on, maybe even middle school, what were some of your inspirations around here?
Oh, well, I was lucky because my older brother played music, and I was really influenced by him a lot. My brother Brad played guitar, and he really loved all the hard blues rock bands from England in the late 60s, early 70s. Bands like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Deep Purple, and Jimi Hendrix, and Cream, and obviously, Rolling Stones, and the Beatles, and all those bands from England that were so great and so inspiring. And so I listened to most of his records, much to his chagrin when I'd come home and he'd be like, "You left my Marantz receiver on. I know you were listening to that Alice Cooper album or whatever." So Brad was great. And then, like I said before, like in school, like in middle school, they had like an after school jazz band. It wasn't really like jazz. We were playing like Miles Davis and John Coltrane, but we were doing more like kind of staples like In the Mood by Glenn Miller, and Sing 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 by the Dorsey, and then if you're really stretching out, we do like, Eleanor Rigby, but the da, but the da, but the da. It was like, but it was a fun opportunity to be able to do kind of a different thing than just the hits of the day, like most people wanted to play. But I was just really fortunate to have those programs. Really kept me involved and excited about music, and kept me in school. I would never graduated from high school if I didn't have all the different music programs. So that's the thing that's really important that I want to put a spotlight on, is that, the first thing that gets cut out of programs is, monetarily often is the arts. And people don't know, they need to know that when there's music and art in schools, kids' attendance is up. They do better in their other classes. Graduation rates are higher. Students and family members get involved in the school. Those are all really positive things. So, this is my love of music.
You're listening to The Metro. I'm Tia Graham, and I'm speaking with Chad Smith, Hall of Fame and Grammy Award-winning drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're chatting about a new scholarship for incoming students to the University of Michigan's School of Music, Theater, and Dance. And it comes at a perfect time, I think, Chad, in the state of Michigan, but Metro Detroit in general. I cover arts and culture, and I've
Mm.
been seeing so much happening within the arts and culture world, whether it's music or fine arts or fashion, whatever it may be, it's really thriving
Mm.
here right now. And so for you to
Yeah.
come in and do this at this moment in the state of Michigan and southeastern Michigan, it adds to what's really happening right now in the city. And it's a big movement happening. If you could just talk a little bit for yourself about how you personally fostered your love of music and how do you do that and instill that in the next generation, especially as a mentor?
Ooh, well, I mean, like I said before, well, first of all, let me go back to what you said. That's really exciting that art and music is like at the forefront of southeastern Michigan right now. That's like super cool. There's such a rich history of that in this part of the state, and I'm so glad to see that's like on the rise, and there's waves, it comes and goes, but I think that's really beautiful because again, there's a rich history, especially in the for me that I know of the music part of the state. So that's really great to hear, and that's good timing for me for what I want to do. So that's great. But yeah, I just I think that sorry, what was the second part of your question? I forgot already.
No, I know. I threw that in there. I loaded it up for you. But the second
Okay.
part was just about you being a mentor and bringing up
Oh,
that next generation of musicians because
yeah,
you
yeah.
have an expertise that is also needed outside of financial support.
Well, I think, if you can you're lucky enough to be in a position like myself to be able to kinda give back and fortunately, I've been in a group for 37 years that people still like and dig our music, and I appreciate my drumming and stuff, so I'm just so lucky for that. And I just think if you can, if I could inspire somebody to pick up an instrument or a guitar or drums, and get with their buddies and start a band, and who knows what could happen, it could be the next who knows, Bob Seger or Eminem or MC5 or Iggy Pop or all these great Michiganders that, started out really young here. So, I think I'm really honored that anyone would even be like interested in what I was doing. So, yeah, I wanna be able to give back, and it just makes perfect sense that it's here in my hometown.
Now, Chad, if we could just end things off here, talking about the Chad Smith Foundation. It was announced earlier this year, August of 2025, and then those scholarships are going to start going out in 2026. So just wrap it up with a nice bow, if you could, the importance of the scholarship fund and what it means to you.
Again, the first one was in Minnesota because that's where I was born, and my mother and father both graduated from the University of Minnesota, and that was a real easy one for us and a real connection to that place and that school. And then coming here to Michigan, of course, where I grew up and spent most of my growing up life and school life. I've always loved Michigan, and this is also a really good fit. Both schools have been very welcoming and want to partner with us, and can see that we can bring some value and a spotlight on things that they're already doing, but we just want to help them connect the dots and help with education, of course, and then also help with people that just want to do music and want that to be their life and their passion, like it was for me. So just to be able to give back and give forward and be involved, I feel really honored, and of course, again with the legacy of my mother and father, it's such a great way to have our family be able to be inspiring to somebody that wants to make music their life. So that's what's happening right now, and why not now? What's better than that? What's better than the present? So yeah, we're looking forward to next year. It's going to be really exciting, and I look forward to it. So thank you for helping spread the word as well.
Michigan Marching Band.
That was Chad Smith, Hall of Fame, Grammy Award-winning drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He recently announced the Curtis and Joan Smith Scholarship through the Chad Smith Foundation. The scholarship will support incoming students to the University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Coming up, a new exhibition will explore how storytelling impacts us across all aspects of life. You all stay right there. This is The Metro.